It's 10:55, right? That's the chapter number.
Yep, 10:55. You already read it, right? Because I already read it.
No, I have not.
Oh, you have not? Oh,
I
wow. Okay.
have.
So it's gonna be a live reaction for you. Okay, I told you. I told.
I,
Oh,
I completely forgot. I
okay,
actually
okay,
did read.
okay. I'm definitely gonna keep that part in the video. So yeah, I guess I'm starting the video now. Welcome to the channel. The chapter came out late yesterday. So that's why I'm doing the video now on Friday. And I told Leo, yeah, I texted you that this video, this vi- that this video was not gonna be a live reaction. It was gonna be a chapter discussion, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I just found out that Leo hasn't read the chapter. Oh, Leo, don't read the chapter. Please don't
Okay, okay.
read the chapter with me because oh my god, Leo, you're in for a treat. Leo, this chapter was crazy. Okay, I'm
Okay,
glad.
I only read the logo.
Okay. Oh man, I'm glad you haven't read the chapter. Are you seeing my screen? I'm sharing my screen to this girl. Are you sharing my screen?
Yeah, yeah,
Are you
yeah.
seeing it?
It's the red cover with Shanks in the background, right?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Good. So, oh my god, I'm glad you haven't read the chapter because it's actually a really crazy chapter. So, agendas were made. Agendas were pushed. Agendas were pushed. They were strengthened. They were strengthened. They grew. Agendas grew. It was a crazy chapters for agenda. JD Legend.
Okay.
Last week, chapter JD Legend, he titled his video, "Agenda Week is back." I say this chapter was more agenda driven than last week chapter. It was wild. First of all, I'm going to apologize for the type of person I'm going to become in this video because right off the bat, I'm sorry for the type of person I may become in this video because Leo, this chapter was wild. It was wild. Um, and I'm trying going to gonna try my best to hold myself back, but it's just this chapter was wild. So yeah. But before we start the chapter proper, here's the jump volume cover. It says here the one Shanks guy, referring to Luffy, is a really good volume cover.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
jump. Yeah. I love Luffy's film red like drip. It's really good. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the cap though. Like, it
The
isn't
cat.
the same what the straw hat.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it is. It's pretty weird.
Like it's so
Yeah,
weird. Like he's a pirate, but like I
yeah,
don't see any pirate cap looking better on him than a straw hat. Like that's the thing.
yeah. Yeah. But I love yeah, it doesn't. It looks weird on him, but I love the design of the hat. It's like stripes
Oh
on
yeah.
one side, the skull on the other. But yeah, it's a really
With
good.
the
And then
feathers and the floof.
yeah, the feather and the floof. Yeah, it looks really nice. Yeah, on him it looks weird, but overall it's a really cool design. And then last week in last chapter, it was announced that this week we are going to get a color spread. Turns out they lied to us. Turns out they just reused the film red the film red poster. I was expecting a really cool color spread, but no, we already seen this before. The film red poster. So yeah, I'm guessing if you buy the actual jump volume, you will get the poster, and and you could have the actual poster. I'm assuming. This is
I
new.
mean, it's a really dope poster though. Not gonna
Oh yeah,
lie.
oh no, yeah, it's a really good poster. I don't know if Oda does all the posters, but he did this one. We know that he
Yeah,
did this one. I don't know if he does all of them. Oh, and speaking of film red, I actually found the font that they use for the word red. I found it accidentally. I was I
yeah.
was
Oh really?
typing. Yeah, I found it. I was typing. I went to Behance. Behance is like Adobe's social media site for artists. So I went to Behance, and every time I want to inspire myself or something, I go to Behance. So I type pirate font, right? And it was one of the first one that showed up. And I'm like, oh, I found the film red font. That's really cool. Overall, here's a quick review of the font. Overall, it's okay. I don't like some of the letters. For example, the TRED, those are really good letters in the font. But for example, the T, I really don't like the T. It looks weird. And there's other letters that I really don't like. But overall, it's okay font. I think they pick a really good font for the film red, logo. And in case you're wondering, the scar and the D is not in the actual font. They added that for the logo. So yeah,
Of course.
yeah, of course, just in case but yeah, overall, good font. Overall good font. This is new. This week's chapter we got like a mini one-page thing about Utah. It's interesting because this little mini chapter is called New Age, which is a reference to her song, the one that we reacted on the channel. Her theme for the movie. Some people right here in the corner says some people are translating it as New Genesis, but according to TCB scans, they say New Age makes more sense because it's supposed to match the title of this chapter, New Age. So that's why they went with New Age. And over here in the corner, it says 3 issues in a row. People are not sure what that means. Either are we getting like 3 issues of this special Utah thing, or what? We're still wondering about that. And it's interesting, this whole Utah thing, because Utah, she's sleeping, right? That's the first panel. And there's like a Dendemushi next to her. And there's people like saying, Utah, listen, pirates have stormed the town. Utah, they got my dad. Save us, Utah-shan. The houses are burning. Utah, Utah-shan. And she's like ignoring, all this, right? she's sleeping. And then suddenly she wakes up. And she's like, it's not here. A pen. I need a pen. And then she started writing lyrics and music notes and whatever. And then she's like, it's done. My magnus opus. So, okay. Like, it's interesting. Also, the area that she's in it looks like a war down building. Like the pillars are broken, the walls are broken, everything's like broken, dirty. So it's interesting. I don't know. I'm guessing this is like setting up her character, like her personality. I don't know. Oh, that's interesting, I guess. And right here it says, and so Utah's song was born. Her theme in the movie. So there's that. Not sure if we're getting more stuff. And it says here, Oda drew this extra showing the moment Utah penned her New Age thing. So yeah, basically summarizing the whole page. Now we're starting with the chapter proper. Oh, Lil, you're in for a treat. So I guess I will. Already read the chapter, so I guess I will read things for you, and like how I do for the live reactions.
Yeah.
So yeah. And I will get your reaction, and then we will discuss. So, chapter 1055 is called New Age, and Momo says, "Stop, Yamato. Why? Why wouldn't you let me fight? You mustn't lay a hand on him." And what is this guy named Green Ball? He smacks Momo into the ground. So first face, yeah, first face. Your boy Raizo, your
number 29,
number 29, Raizo. If you don't get what we're saying, just go watch our mid-year top 30 video. So number 29, Raizo says, Nimpo scroll jutsu fire release. So he throws fire. Green Bull yells, but then he says, just kidding. Fireproof forest. Fireproof forest. You're up against a Navy Admiral. You think I won't be able to guard against such an obvious weakness? And then he attacks Raizo with a
Admiral level.
Admiral level, of course.
A forest immune to fire. Like, that's insane.
You don't know why I'm laughing, but oh boy, you gonna find out why I'm laughing. So Raizo, but that is crazy. Gotta give credit where it due. A forest immune to fire. That means he really trained with his Delphi to get to this level. Yeah. Which I haven't looked it up, but you're smarter than me. So is that true? Are there like actual forests or like plants? I'm guessing plants like immune to fire, or what do you like? Like, do you think this makes sense scientifically speaking? I guess.
I'm not so sure since I'm not botanist, but like there's weird things in nature, that's for sure. But like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's trees or whatever that uses ash as
Mm,
covering to like as being like fireproof because like once you burn
yeah,
something it stops burning because ash is fireproof.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be surprised. Well,
Mm,
I would be surprised. I'm lying.
yeah.
Yeah, I would be surprised.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's
Yeah,
very weird.
yeah. It's pretty
I mean,
weird.
but there's also man-eating plants, so it wouldn't be
Yeah, yeah.
that that weird.
Yeah, yeah, and then yeah, yeah. So okay, yeah, and then right, I mean, Green Bow he stabs right. So it looks like armament hockey on the vine, but we're not sure because of the shading or whatever. But he stabs
Yeah.
Raizo, and then Raizo gets stuck up. He's not safe. Raizo's not safe. Um, if it's if if this ability is like crocodile's ability, remember? I'm pretty sure you remember though. A crocodile, he
Of
could do
course, of
something
course.
similar. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. He sucks the humidity of the moisture of someone, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if Green Bull is similar to Crocodile, they just need to give rice or water, and he will be safe. Because that's what Luffy did. That's what they did with
Yeah.
Luffy. So yeah. Everyone's like Raizo-san. Kawamatsu says, damn you. No matter how much we cut it, just keep growing back. And then someone says, he must have some weakness, right? Is weed whacking really all we can do? And then Green Bull he grabs everyone pretty easy. Light work. Of course he's Admiral. And the only commander level Scabbers you could argue are Neko, Inu, when they're in Sulong. And what's this? Denjiro, I guess you could argue he's commander level. Because
I could argue right, so I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, yeah, and they all will argue that the fifth Emperor Raizo, the eighth Hokage Raizo, is commander level. Okay, so let's keep going. Now we cut to the castle basement, so we go away from the
Oh,
fight. Ooh, Leo.
ooh, a
Ooh,
poneglyph. Oh, a
yep,
poneglyph. Ooh,
yep,
that's
yep.
interesting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No one. I'm gonna tell you now. No one saw this coming. I'm just gonna say it now. No one saw. What are
Okay,
we going to get?
wait. Okay, let me
Uh
clear this up. Sukiyaki's is Odin's father, right?
huh. Yeah, he's on his dad.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Momo's grandpa. Okay, okay.
Uh huh. So we're in the castle basement. Kosuke Sukiyaki's secret room, even further down. So
Oh, there's
remember,
more. Okay.
yeah. Last chapter we ended off in Sukiyaki's secret room. Now we're going further down than that. Um, Robin says, "You did well to sniff us out." Then Law says, "You make it sound like I'm a hyena." I simply noticed the two of you weren't with the others. That naturally made me wonder if you were up to something. And then Sukiyaki says, "Be careful where you step. The ground is covered with mold." And then he continues, "I never told Orochi or Kaido about this passage, but they were still able to find the poneglyph in no time because they had a fishman on their crew, the
Oh,
All-Star Jack." So,
oh,
uh,
so it's confirmed that there's a second fishman with a Delphi, canonically.
yeah, 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 yeah. And we already knew that Jack was a fishman. It
Oh,
just
really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Although he mentioned in the SBS, I'm pretty sure, or in the the river cards. Yeah, I think he mentioned it there also. The thing that we didn't know, or like we didn't, or like we're still debating to this day. Well, I guess it's kind of confirmed. Is he a half fishman or full fishman?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Since he doesn't look like your typical fishman, people just thought he was half fishman. But according to Oda, he's a full fishman. I forgot his specific fishman race, but but yeah. Now,
no,
something
wait.
that did.
What does Jack being a fisherman have to do with a poneglyph?
funny
Or
enough,
is
funny enough, Robin asked the same thing.
okay,
Robin,
okay,
yeah. So but before I continue, before I answer your
okay,
question,
okay. Before I
um,
keep on reading,
yeah. So it says here that Jack he swam down, or they sent Jack underwater. Uh, Either this is before he got Delphi, or because I'm not sure if you're aware, Leo, but when we got to Wano, we learned that Wano is not salt water but river water. Um,
Oh,
yeah. So people are like, oh, so is there river water that Dofro users could swim through river water? or he just he messed up, like he completely forgot. Oh wait, Jack is the devil for you, sir. I think this is my my take, is which is pretty funny. I think they just dropped Jack. Kylo's like, Jack, go underwater. And they just dropped him, and he sank down. And then they, and then he has like a rope or something, and he tells everyone, pull me back up. And then they pull him back up, and then Jack reports to what he saw down there. That's the that's what I think happened. Now let me answer your question. Why him being a fishman has to do with all this? Um, so Robin says, how will being a fishman help? La da da da. He doesn't say anything. Sukiyaki says, that will be clear when you see it. La says, how far down does this go? Sukiyaki, let's see. I will say it goes few hundreds of years deep. And Robin,
Ooh, okay. Oh, okay. This is interesting. Okay, okay.
yeah, and then Robin question mark. She doesn't say anything. They continue walking. Time skip. They continue walking, and then Robin's like, "Where's that dim light coming from?" So Gyaki says, "There's a glass block window at the end of that crawl space. You can climb in there and take a peek. We should already be below sea level." And then Robin, she climbs the thing, and then here's a funny moment where Law uses room to pop right next to Robin, and Robin says, "No fair," because he Robin had to climb while
Yeah,
Law
he
used
just
to.
teleported.
Yeah. Now next page we're going to see the thing that they're shocked about.
Shocked. Okay.
Yeah. So Wano,
Oh.
or
Okay.
they're like, "Is that Wano on the water?" And then Sukiyaki says, "That is an older Wano from about 800 years ago." What do you mean?
Okay, voice century. Okay.
Yep, yeah. What do you mean? Exactly as I said. Although as to why it ended up like this, I have no idea. But it's so well preserved. Does that mean this isn't really seawater? This is what I do know. Long ago, Wano was much larger and located at sea level, on the land around the base of Mount Fuji, which is the big giant mountain in the middle of Wano. At some point, walls were erected all around enclosing the island. As a result, the rainwater had no place to escape to, and whole towns were eventually submerged and abandoned. The land further up mountain was established for settlers, and that grew into the country we are familiar with today, the current Wano, precisely. Bro, so
Oh, okay, pretty cool world building. Not gonna lie.
yeah, yeah. So funny enough, me and my brother yesterday, before the chapter came out, we were talking about that Wano is a river water, like fresh water, not salt water. And then I forgot why we started this conversation. But I told my brother, oh yeah, no, Wano is actually fresh water. They know that when they got to Wano, Nami, she's like, oh, this is fresh water, because koi fish are freshwater fish. So she's like, oh, this has to be, yeah. And also the water is very clear and all that jazz. And it's funny, me and my brother were talking about this yesterday, and in the chapter, they bring that up, the whole thing about fresh water. Because I asked my brother yesterday, where does the fresh water come from if it's fresh water? And all the
Rains.
yeah, but I just didn't, I just didn't click. It didn't click, like, because we knew that the walls, the walls surrounding Wano, the border, it was a decision by the Kofi clan 800 years ago that they decided to border up Wano. The thing we didn't know is that they placed a whole big giant wall around Wano. This wall has to be bigger than like the walls in Attack on Titan. Those are 50 meters. Those are 50 meters. This has to be way bigger than that. To cover a whole, to cover all the whole Wano. And then it's so interesting that from the beginning he already had this plan. Like, well, yeah, because the real water and all that. It's very interesting. But yeah, let's continue. It's really cool lore dump. Now, he says in the next page, we have arrived. This is the low poneglyph. I'm guessing they're using low poneglyphs now instead of roll poneglyph.
Okay.
Yeah, tomato. You could use either or. Robin says, "It's really here. This is our third. We just need one more to travel to Laughtail. We are in a cavern near the foot of Mount Fuji. If you continue to trek a little deeper, It's said that you will find the sleeping ancient weapon Pluton.
Ooh.
Ooh, spicy stuff. Yeah, yeah. I had never seen it myself and am unable to show it to you. So he hasn't seen it and he can't even show it to us. So because he explains in the next page, returning Pluton will require the removal of the walls that surround this nation. Opening the country is quite a literal act. We will lose our greatest defense and set loose one of the ancient weapons. And then Robin says, opening the country unleashes Pluton. Why will Koski only want that? And Sukiyaki says, everything I have told you was passed down through the generation of shogunate rule. I cannot speak to what Odin may have learned himself during his voyage in the outside world. So, so yeah, that's the end of the lorddom. Crazy lorddom.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah.
What? All the edging, mate. Honestly.
Yeah, yeah. So, we've been theorizing. Well, what by we I mean the community. The community have been theorizing that opening the borders of Wano was like a literal thing. Like they literally need to break down the borders because if you remember, Sunisha, he went to Wano to open the borders, but then Momo said no, so he left. So people have been theorizing that we need Sunisha to open the borders, and that will cause something, and something, this something will lead to something, blah blah blah. So we're slowly but surely piecing together the picture of opening the borders of Wano. Now we know that
About
opening
5 years.
yeah, about yeah, yeah. Now we know that opening the borders unleashes Pluton. It's interesting that Sukiyaki says, the sleeping ancient weapon Pluton. Why did he use sleeping? Like, is he implying that the ancient weapon is actually something alive? Pluton. But
Or maybe something that you have to activate.
or something they have to activate. Oh yeah, that's the other possibility. Yeah, that makes sense too. Randy Troy, he thinks that Sunisha, or like it's like another elephant, or it could be Sunisha herself. I don't know how, but this was before we learned about this. But he been saying that maybe Sunisha or another big giant Asian creature is Pluton, and throughout the years, because for example, Sunisha is an island that carries people on its back. Maybe 800 years ago they saw that as a ship. It was like, oh, it's a thing that moves people to, that carries people. So that's kind of like a ship. So throughout the years, it's like the game Telephone.
Yeah.
So it's like a 800 years game of Telephone. That that it led to like, oh yeah, it's a ship. The people in the present day thinks it's a ship, but in reality, it's actually a living creature. And back in the day, they just thought it was a ship, or through through the generation, they just kept changing the meaning, or because different stories and all that. I think Pluton is an actual is a thing. It's like a ship. I think it's a object. It's not a living being because Frankie, and he had the blueprints for Pluton, and if Pluton looked like a living thing, I think Frankie would have said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Pluton is like, go on.
Or maybe Pluton, like instead of being just a ship, it could be like a mech sort of deal, like which is which would explain why Frankie does a lot of mech stuff.
Yeah. I was going to bring that up also. That could be like a mix, and because Frankie, when he was a kid in Iceberg, when they saw the blueprints, they were very surprised. They were like, how will we even begin to build this ship? So that would be something crazy. I do like the idea of it being a mixed thing also. And so I also do like that. And also, I don't mind the living creature thing, but it's just for a long time they've been saying it was a ship, so people are expecting a ship. But at the end of the day, as long as it's a crazy powerful weapon, I'm okay with. Something crazy, something powerful, I'm okay with. Whatever Ola does, he will please me. With Pluton. or whatever he does. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and then before I continue to finish this Pluton thing discussion, O'Hara, not Ator, but the YouTuber
Yeah,
O'Hara the
yeah,
Fox, Manu, which he's going by now. So Manu, he did a theory that every Asian weapon is like three things. For example, Shirahoshi. Shirahoshi is a living being, and she's Poseidon. But her power is to control the Sea Kings. And he also said Noah could be part of it. So, so that's why he thinks the every Asian weapon is three things. It's like a living being that could control something else, and there's a vehicle. So, so in case of Poseidon, so Shirahoshi, the Sea Kings, Noah, and then in case of Momo, if you say Momo is Asian weapon, for example, so it'll be Momo, Sunisha, and Pluton. You know, the ship, the actual battleship. And then what's this guy? Uranus. Uranus is the other one. So like Uranus, big giant flying ship. I don't know. And the human and the like a big giant bird that the human controls. You get what I mean? So it's like
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Which I don't know. I like the theory. It will be interesting. Each Asian weapon is like a set of three things, I guess. Um, so that will be interesting. The only reason why he said that is because the only Asian weapon that we that we know the most is Poseidon. So that's like the only one that he's like basing everything on because like well Poseidon is a living being, controls something, and he throwing Noah in there to make it make sense. And yeah, so yeah. Um, Now let's continue. We go back with Greenbow. It says right here, the flower capital. Outside the flower capital. Greenbow says, no man can hope to stand against the forces of nature alone. Get it? If Kylo was still in charge, I wouldn't have come here. Right off the bat, right off the bat, people.
He's admitting that Kaido's stronger than him.
Uh, there's also that. You could. At first, I saw it that way, but but right off the bat, people who are saying Admirals over Yonko, they're in suicide wash. They're
Yeah, yeah.
they're in suicide wash. We better send them a link to betterhelp.com because ooh,
988.
yep. They actually changed the number. I'm not sure to what, but
988.
yeah. That's the new number. Yeah, yeah. It used to be 1-800, right? Yeah, the logic's on. So
Can you
uh,
relate? Woo!
yeah, can you relate? So yeah, we gotta send them links to all those things, and and you're gonna see why. You're gonna see why. So he continues. Greenbow continues. He says, "I'm sure living under his regime was miserable, but the order he imposed was the deterrent that kept other predators from targeting your country. Just bring me Straw Hat Luffy already. I'll leave you after I take his head." So he has everyone captured. You know, he's Momo. He's on the floor. You know, he seemed weakened. You know, like it's not looking good for the alliance. You know, for the samurais.
Yeah,
Um, Yamato says, "Let's call Luffy and the gang and show this guy who's boss." Momo says, "No, that is unacceptable. The same goes for you. Do not touch him. After all that time chained up on Onigashima, you finally have your chance to be free." Then he continues. Yeah, he continues. Yamato's like, "Huh?" He continues. "That's why I refuse to take your send off. Up until now, I have continued to rely on Luffy, Zoro, and the others. But it is imperative to prove that those of us who are staying here can repel any enemies on our own." And then we see Kawamatsu, we see Denjiro, they're smiling because of what Momo was saying. Momo,
yeah.
he continues, he's crying. He says, "If we still have to depend on the people who wish to leave, how can we look any of you in the eyes and say that Wano is safe with us?" Yamato says, "Momonosuke-kun," and then Momo, he continues, "Now be gone, you demon tree. Get out of here." And then Green Bull says, "So you're just a spoiled kid. I guess even dragons can be pathetic." And then he says, Momo says, "I said leave," and we see a glimpse of a light coming in.
Ooh.
Ooh, yeah, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. So I will
Ooh,
come back to
I'm
this
I'm
later.
updating to my top 30 now.
Oh, Leo. Same here. Same here. But it's not what you think. It's not what you think. But let's continue. Uh, so yeah, he does a bowl of breath, and then he attacks Green Bull. Green Bull yells. Momo continues. He's like, "Wow, it actually came out." Monosuke-sama, Green Bull, he got obliterated by the bowl of breath. So this proves bowl of breath is over fire. So if Momo did this, Kaido could do it and even better. So so yeah. Yeah. Denjiro Momonosuke-sama also they got everyone got freed. Momonosuke-sama, it was a spinning image of Kaido's, and then Momo's like, be gone, be gone. He's spamming Bora breath. Uh he's just spamming it. Greenbow says, hang on, you bastard. So he's spamming it. Yamato says, amazing. He's managing to control his dragon form, but his aim still leaves much to be desired. So he's doing it, but he's not aiming that well. But still, he's doing a really good job. For someone who, who just learned this ability. Um, Next page, Green Ball. He's all burned up. Momo is still
What the
spamming.
fuck is this ability?
So, as you probably saw, he grew a tiny plant and he came out of the plant. Basically, baby Groot. It's basically he did a Groot. He did a Groot. I am Groot. Well, no, we are Groot. We are Groot. And Green Bull says, seriously, is he trying to burn down the whole town? And he goes back to his big giant form. Since you're so hell bent on playing hardball, have it your way, like Burger King. That's Burger King slogan, right? Have it your way. Not sure, but he says, "I skewer you and your wannabe Kylo routine from mouth to tail." Okay, now this is the part where I need to control myself. I need to
Okay, I
hold.
saw lightning.
Yes.
It's Black Lightning, so not the CW show.
Yeah,
but
not
I'm
the
assuming
DC.
that's Conqueror's hockey.
No, it's not the DC character, not Black Lightning. But we. Okay, next page. So, Green Bull goes back into base form, and then the lightning is like hitting him. Is everywhere. Green Bull yells. He's like, "Whoa, wait! That Conqueror's hockey. Who the hell?" And then Green Bull says, "The red hair pirates, you're here too."
Shanks, please tell me Shanks. Please tell me Shanks.
So, random bozo from the red hair pirates. Someone says, boss, don't just use your hockey without warning. All the newbies are foaming at the mouth. Probably a top tier dude, since he says that. I won't call you Marines, Shanks says, I won't call you Marines cowardly or underhanded for this, but when you agree it's bad form to go after these worn out saplings when they're exhausted from making pirate history. Next page. Does the new age frighten you that much? And then we have a really epic. we have.
It looks amazing.
It looks amazing, man. This panel of Shanks, he's like flexing his hockey. He's angry. This is a new emotion for Shanks. All the always draws him stoic or serious. He's like actually angry here.
Fucking range on hockey though. Dang.
Oh no! Oh, you can't. Oh man, we're gonna talk about this. We're almost done with the chapter, so. And then and then Green Bull says, I get it already. It's not like I want to pick a fight with you guys. Not today, anyway. And then
Shanks stays number one. Shanks stays number one.
He stays number one. Oh. Let's continue. We're almost done with the chapter. Then we could actually discuss. So next page, everyone's partying, whatever. And then we see our boys. We see Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbei, Mr. Bio Man Jinbei. We see him there too. So, so Luffy, he's like, he's gone. She. Sanji says, guess we don't need to lend a hand after all. And then Zoro says, check out Momo. Jinbei, indeed. And that hockey just now was really something too. And then someone says, yeah, who was that? And then Luffy says, a familiar face just popped into my head. He's laughing. And then it says here, a ship drifting in the vast ocean. Chapter end. So, man, Leo. So, like I said,
One Piece is crazy good this week.
Oh man, One Piece was really. Oh man, One Piece was really crazy good this week. So, like I said, the chapter, the agendas were strong, and that agenda is that Yonkos over Admirals, like you and me, we've been saying this ever since we started doing videos together, which was the top our first top 30 video. Um, that we've been saying Yonkos over Admirals. People are crazy to think otherwise. At least that's what I think, and it's crazy to me that when the Reverie came out, every like 90% of people in that Reverie were saying that Green Bull was going to baby shake everyone. He was going to wash the alliance all by himself. Like Randy Turtle was saying that he's going to capture Luffy. Luffy's going to give himself up. People were agreeing with him. And then the only person, from memory, the only person who was like fighting against this notion was King of Lightning, which me and King we think the same when it comes to the Yonko versus Admiral agenda. That we both think Yonko way superior, over Admiral. I saw his live reaction to this and he was popping off. At the end of the video, his voice was gone. His voice um he has an inside joke in his channel that he gets sweaty, so he has a towel always with him. Towel sama. That's what he calls his towel. And he's like, oh, he's like, I'm sweating. I think it was I forgot what page it was. I think it was like very early on. He's like, I'm sweating, and we just started the chapter. We just started this. So yeah, it was a really good. I didn't saw the whole thing. I was seeing it live. I saw like at the end, but still, it was from what I saw, it was a really good live reaction. Um. Okay, so yeah, like I was saying, it's crazy to me that people really thought that Green Bull was going to wash the alliance. As you can see in the last page, one of my favorite panels in this chapter is the the it's the panel where you see Jinbei, Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy, and they
They
just
knew
shit.
about fucking. They fucking knew about it. Wow.
So yeah, this implies that they knew that Green Bull was there. They knew that they were fighting Green Bull. They were seeing the whole fight, and they're like, you know what? Let's weigh it out. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
We've been chilling. You know, let's weigh it out. They think they're Oh man, who says that? Who says been chilling? Um, famous wrestler. You can't see me. Uh um.
Oh.
What's his name? White. He's white.
Oh, John Cena.
John Cena. They're been chilling like John Cena. Um. So it's funny. They're like, yeah, you know what? Let's weigh it out. Let's see where this goes. And like I thought, like Luffy wasn't going to intervene. Like not intervene at least. Like yeah, Momo got it. And if he doesn't, then let's fold this ammo really quick. Because in the new world, first time we see this is in this Rosa. That Luffy, his mentality when it comes to the Emeralds, it's different. Like now, ever since this Rosa, Luffy, he's not afraid to go after Emerald. Like after finding Don Flamingo, if I'm correct, 3 days later, he's still recovering from Don Flamingo, but he wanted to fight against Fujitora. Like he was a, like he was a foxy. Like okay, yeah, I'll fight with you. Like he was nothing. And then now here, he's just there. He's like, you know what? I believe in Momo and the Scabbers. They got this, sure. But if they don't, then I'll just go there with my boys, and we just handle business, you know. And also Yamato, like in the chapter, she says, like let's call Luffy and the gang and show this guy who's boss. Like even Yamato, he's confident that if everyone joins together, they could take down Green Bull, which that's what I expected. I expected, we both expected that Green Bull, if everyone joined forces, they could take him down. Um, but yeah, to me, I'm not surprised. I expected this. Now, the thing I did not expect was Shanks from miles away sending us sending off Conquerors hockey like it was UPS. You know, he shipped that. You know, next day, you know, next day shipping. You're like, here you go, Green Bull. Here's my Conquerors hockey. You know, and the thing is, Green Bull went in base form. He went in base form. He's shaking. He's sweating. He's yelling. He has his hands in the air like we don't care. He's like he's like shaking. He's like what's his hockey? Is red hair. It's the red hair pirates. Now something interesting that people have been pointing out is that there's this sound effect when the Shanksy sends the hockey. There's this electrical sound effect, you know, like a radio static or whatever sound effect. And
Yeah.
people are saying, is Shanks using his hockey to talk to Green Bull right now? Like, is Shanks hockey that crazy that he's directly talking to Green Bull? Like with Conkers or observation, he's using something. And Green Bull, he's like listening to the conversation because you know, like Shanks is like, oh, I'm here. You know, do you want to smoke? You know, like don't mess with this new generation. So yeah, it's a oh man, it's a really good thing. You know, I love that all of this. You know, I mentioned in the previous videos that my ideal situation was you know, that the alliance, they fight against Green Bull, they defeat him, and they Luffy tells Green Bull next time bring Akainu, Sengoku, or Garp, you know, and then Green Bull leaves, and you know he tells the news. That will be a mirror. That will be like a, you know, like a parallel to what Roger did in the Olden flashback with the random ring. But this right here, this is way better than what I was pitching. Like I'm pretty sure you agree that you know this just Shanks showing up, flexing his hockey. It's just from
On
miles
an
away.
admiral.
Yeah, flexing his hockey miles away. Is way better than what I thought. What I wanted to happen. Yeah, this is way better. And Leo, you just okay. He's not just miles away. His hockey has to go over the waterfall, go to go to Curry and Hakuma, if I'm correct, or Ringo. I'm not sure which one. It basically has to go to two regions of Wano, and then go to the flower capital. Like, this is insane. This is crazy. And he's just standing there. He's just standing there menacingly, you know, in the silhouette that I'm seeing right now. Like, and
And the thing
then
is,
uh
like Wano is huge, humongous. Like,
yeah, it's huge. It's insane.
like, I would dare say Talk is continental. Like, it's the length of it.
Yeah, like
It's insane.
yeah, like Onigashima is huge. You know, Onigashima has multiple mega structures inside of it, and then
Yeah.
Kaido in his dragon form could fit inside Onigashima. So, and then Onigashima right next to Wano, it looks like a little sand pit. You know, it's like a little playground. You know, like a little
Yeah.
sandbox. So yeah, yeah, his hockey is insane. And then also, this Oda showing us that Luffy still has a lot to learn when it comes to Conquerors. When it comes to Conquerors and hockey in general, because this is like some Eno level feat. Remember what Eno did with observation, that he could like listen to conversation miles away, like the whole. If I'm correct, he could listen to the whole White Sea, which is, you know, like the White Sea in Skypiea, with his observation hockey. This is like similar to that, but Shanks, he's not actually talking. At least that's what we're assuming. Shanks, he's like talking to his hockey, so it's crazy. And like I said earlier, um, people who think Admirals over Yonko, you know, I said they're a suicide wash. Like, man, honestly, I don't know what they're thinking. Brago, he's one of the YouTubers that he he was like, I don't watch most of his content. I usually every now and then watch his stuff. I mostly watch his collaboration with other people, you know. But I do, you know, I do the stuff that I seen, you know, I do like his content. But basically, Brago, he was like one of the figureheads when it comes to, at least from one thing, one of the figureheads when it comes to Admirals over Yonko. And man, I can't wait to watch his. It's already out, his live reaction, but his live reactions are like 3 hours plus long. It's like similar length to ours, but that's like the minimum. At least ours is like 1 hour minimum to two. His is like minimum 3 hours long. His like reactions. So I'll watch it eventually, but I can't wait. I think the title is Ambrose in the mud right now. I think that's the title to his live reaction. Yeah, Ambrose in the mud. Another thing I was going to mention about this whole Green Bull scenario. Um, okay, like like yeah, we like in our channel we say Yonkos versus over Ambrose, right? But
Yeah.
the Admirals are still pretty strong though. They're still top. They're still top 10 in the verse. Like this doesn't jokingly I was going to say that Green Bull now he's number 30 and then when number 30 is Green Bull. I'll play the clip. I was going to say that, but still Green Bull is he's still top 10 top 15 dude top 10 at least minimum.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah,
Agreed.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and but I do think every other Admiral will react to this differently though, and this is what people are kind of this is what people don't like about Green Bull, at least from what we've seen so far. That Green Bull, he's sweating, he's shaking, he's like yelling, right? For
Yeah.
it doesn't look good on him. He was talking big game. He was like, "Oh, I'm going to wipe out everyone," and then Shanks just shows up and flexes. He just flexes, and it puts him into this pitiful state, right? And I see a bunch of people complain about that, like, "Oh, that puts Green Bull in a terrible light. That puts the Admirals in a terrible light." But here's my case. Here's my case. He's still, of course, he's still top 10, right? And I think every Admiral will react differently in this situation. For example, Kizaru, I think Kizaru will just be like, "Otototo, red hair Shanks," so like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting you," and then he will leave. He will be like, "Okay, I will leave," right? Aokichi, if he still was an Admiral, how he will react probably, he will be like, he will like, "Oh, I don't
What
want
a
to deal."
bother.
Yeah, like, okay, I really don't want to deal with you right now, so I guess I will leave. Like he will be lazy about it. It's like, I guess I will leave, and then he dips. Akainu on the other hand, I think Akainu will be like the only one who will try to fight, but then fail miserably because his strengths and his whole crew and Luffy is also there. So Akainu he's getting washed because I do think Akainu will stay and try to fight because it's him. Fujitora on the other hand, Fujitora will not even fight because he sees Luffy in a different light now. So I don't think Fujitora will not even try to, like, let's say Fujitora, if he was ordered to do this, he will just leave. He's like, "Oh, okay, all right, sure." I really didn't want to do this in the first place, so okay, I will leave. So he's
I have a legitimate excuse now.
what happened? What happened?
Like he
Uh,
has a like yeah. For
yeah.
Joe, we say like, oh, I have an excuse now to leave.
Yeah. I have a legit. Yeah, he's like, I have a legit excuse now to leave. Yeah. I do see him saying that. So, so yeah, every Admiral except Akainu will leave. It just every Admiral will react differently, and Green Bull just happened to be the worst reaction possible to the situation. Like honestly, in my opinion, this is like the most pitiful we have seen Admiral in the series. Like we haven't seen, we really haven't seen a Admiral sweat this much. Like it's crazy.
Shanks is scary.
Yeah,
Shanks
it's
number one.
Shanks. Yeah, Shanks number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like and we in this channel we've been saying Shanks is number one, and like although he always finds a way to hype up Shanks, he always finds a way, And this time he's like, "Oh, let me show off his hockey a little bit." And then the thing that I find really funny about this moment is that a random member is like, "Boss, don't just use your hockey without warning. All the newbies are foaming at the mouth." So it's just very funny. That it's funny because to this day Shanks is still getting newbies in his crew, and then and also they're not ready for his Conqueror's hockey. So yeah, it's pretty funny. And also this moment where Shanks says, "There's a new age frightening you that much, you know. Shanks, he's reminiscing about Luffy, Momo, Hiyori, and we see a silhouette, and the silhouette kind of looks like Yuta. So, so he's probably reminiscing about Yuta when she was a kid, when she was a little girl. So, so yeah, you know, and then also Momo, he's crying, you know, because Grimble left and all that. I think the reason why Momo he's crying here in this panel is because he realized he wasn't strong enough, or the Scabbards, to handle Green Bull, because you know he said I guess now this will transition to the rest of the chapter. You know, I guess we're done. Right? You have nothing else to say about this whole Green Bull scenario?
Nah, nah,
No, no,
nah.
no.
Shank's number one hit. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Shanks number one, Green Bull, number 3. I'm joking, but still, yeah, but you know. Alright. So transitioning to the Momo, his like the speech that he gives. So yeah, like I was saying, the reason why I think Momo is crying in this panel right here, where Shanks says his epic line, is because you know he was crying before throughout the chapter, but the reason why I think he's still crying is because you know he probably realized man, you know, we're still not strong enough to, or at least me, you know, we're still not strong enough to handle Admiral by ourselves, you know. Also, like yeah, like one dude said, there was a live reactor who said that he's like, Momo, like you're not going to handle Ambrose every week, you know, like this is just because Kylo was defeated and that's why they sent Greenbow, or Green, that's why Greenbow went. But he's not gonna be handling Ambrose every week. But still, you know, whenever the next time the time comes, you know, wherever he opens the borders, him and his men, you know, his few good men, you know, they need to be ready for Admiral. But still, I don't know about you, but to me, Momo, he's easily one of my favorite characters in the whole series. Honestly, he is,
Oh,
for me.
really?
Yeah, for me, he keeps getting better and better. And this speech right here, like I love this speech. Like, if we still have like you know, he says, if we still have to depend on the people who wish to leave, how can we look any of you in the eyes and say that Wano is safe with us? You know, and then you know
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like he's crying and you know, he's really trying to fight. You know, and I don't know, for me, when Momo got introduced, all the way back in Punk Hazard, he's one of the
He was a
characters
brat.
that, yeah, he's one of those characters like I don't like this type of character, you know. Yeah, he's a kid, but you know he's whiny, whatever. Basically, Komatsu from Toriko. You know, when Komatsu got introduced, he's basically like Momo, you know, whiny, you know, not strong and all that. But
Wow, yeah, bad opinion about Komatsu. Wow, that's
but
surprising.
no, because this is when he got introduced. So, yeah, let me let me continue. This is when he got introduced. But you know, Komatsu, he grew on me, and now in this channel, you know, no Komatsu slander. In this channel, I don't want to hear no Komatsu slander. You know, like like I'm saying, I'm talking about Komatsu when he got introduced, but you know, throughout the series, like I'm like, yeah, Komatsu, he's that guy. Like, come on, he's easily one of my favorite characters in Toriko. So Momo, he's like that. Momo, he's like a Komatsu. You know, he started off annoying, and then he just gotten better and better. You know, he literally, and like emotionally he grew, physically he literally grew. You know, so yeah, like literally grew on me as a character. Like I really love Momo, and honestly, one of my top moments in Wano is when Momo he's saying my name is Kosuke Momonosuke. It means peerless, second to none. You know, like his speeches. You know, like when he's talking about his name, that oh my father gave me this name because it means this and that, and he's like being brave. Like those, like easily my favorite moments in Wano. So yeah, for me, Momo, he's a really cool character, and you know people don't like him because of the reasons I said. You know, probably they think he's annoying or whatever. But yeah, he grew on me. And King of Lightning, he thinks that Momo is what is better written than Don Flamingo. Now that's crazy. It's a crazy take, but low key, I gotta agree with him. You know, like yeah, Don Flamingo he's more raw. You know, because he's a villain,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know, he's more
And
hype.
more insane.
Yeah, he's more sane. He's more hype because he actually fights. and yeah, he has really cool moments. But when it comes to Momo, like I do have to agree with him. Momo is better written than Doflamingo, even because in a different
I
way.
mean,
They're two
I
completely
mean
different
to be,
characters. They're two completely
I
different
mean,
characters. Yeah, yeah,
I mean to be fair, like Momo has the benefit of having this huge character arc throughout the years, like
yeah,
starting out
yeah.
in Punk Hazard up
Mm-hmm.
until now. That's a
Yeah,
lot of chapters for a character development arc.
yeah,
You get what I mean?
yeah. I get.
Like
Yeah, yeah,
Doflamingo, like we barely knew anything of him up until like Dressrosa. So
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, you also gotta take that in mind. Also, yeah, yeah. But the few moments we've seen Doflamingo, like for example during the war, where he gives that speech about what's really justice. Justice is the people who win. Like good and evil, justice is the people who win. Something like that. That's a really good moment about his character. Like he thinks about the world. So he has moments, but yeah, Momo, he's been with us since Punk Hazard, and I think if this Rosa is the only arc that he wasn't with us because he was in Wano. While some people want not this Rosa, what's it? Whole cake. I don't know why I said this. No, wait, was he in this Rosa? No, he
who?
went to Zoe. Momo. No, yeah, it was Momo went to Zoe, right?
True. I
Yeah,
think so. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe.
yeah, yeah.
I.
Because
I.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to. Yeah.
can't
Hey,
believe that we're blanking out so hard right now.
yeah. Okay, let's assume he went to Zoe. Um, and so Zoe and Whole Cake are like the only two, if I'm correct, two arcs in the like after Punk Hazard that he hasn't been with us. But still, he's been with us for years. So yeah, he does have that advantage for a character. One thing now talking about Momo. One thing that kind of disappointed to read from the chapter is that Momo says that where is it? Yeah, I think around here he says, no, that is unacceptable. The same goes for you. Do not touch him. After all that time chained up on Onigashima, you finally have your chance to be free. And then he says, that's why I refuse to take your son off. Okay, so Momo basically implying that he's not going to continue with the Straw Hats, which I wanted for years. I've been saying for years. Even before I done the YouTube channel, I've been thinking that Momo should continue with the Straw Hats. And that also includes Kinemon in there. Um, um, so it's implying that Momo he's going to say, and he's the reason why he doesn't want Yamato to fight is because he doesn't want to ruin her send off, implying that yeah she's going to leave with the Straw Hats. We still haven't seen Luffy agree with Yamato joining the crew because everyone except Luffy and Jinbei, the everyone's like thinking, oh yeah, she's definitely going to join the crew. Jinbei's like, I don't know, we gotta wait until Luffy, and Luffy hasn't even said anything. But that being said, yeah, Momo is kind of implying he's not leaving with the crew, which I really want Momo to continue with the Straw Hats and continue to the final saga. He will still probably show up, to help in the final war. I just want Momo to continue. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, yeah,
continue with Straw Hats. Um, Now, yeah, of course, everyone, their mother is assuming that Yamato is going to join. Honestly, I haven't. I think yeah, I'm pretty sure I haven't talked about this much in the channel, but I don't mind Yamato joining. You know, but for me, it's really it just compared to all the other Straw Hats, all the previous Straw Hats that has that has joined on whatever. This really hasn't been anything pointing to Yamato joining. Like, yeah, Yamato, the character, she really wants to join, but she really hasn't interacted with, with pretty much none of the other Star Hats. She had that
yeah,
brief,
yeah.
brief, yeah, she had that brief moment with Frankie, of course, with Luffy, of course, and that's about it. She really hasn't like talked with anyone throughout Onigashima. There has been no meaningful interaction. No, she had a decent backstory, but nothing too complex or detailed. It's not a tearjerker. It's not a tearjerker.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What else? There's this whole Olden thing, which so far we have seen her drop because and to Green Bull she says my name is Yamato. She doesn't say my name is Kosuke Olden, and she also says she's the son of Kaido. So at least so far we have seen her drop the whole Olden thing, which is weird because we haven't seen anything. We haven't seen why she dropped it. It just came out of nowhere. Um, so like I don't mind her joining, but this really hasn't been anything that the only reason I don't mind her joining is because I have to be honest. I love her character design. That's about it, really. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, but when it comes to personality or also I love her abilities. They're pretty cool. Yeah, pun intended.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but when it comes to personality, interactions with the crew, and every other thing that every other star has done, it just I don't know. Like it's whatever. At the end of the day, if she joins, I'm not going to complain because okay, I will see more Yamato. Um, and then we will see her interact with the crew. See how she will interact. My theory is this is my theory, and I have said this on the channel. My theory is that Yamato's going to be a stowaway because Luffy's going to deny her, and Yamato she's going to stow away into the crew, and then they're stuck with her. Like they're stuck with her, and then there's gonna be like an awkward period where her trying to adjust with the crew, and they're like, Luffy didn't want you, so but since you're a stowaway, we're already far away from Wano. We're not going to go back to Wano, so I guess we're stuck with you. There's gonna be like that awkward period, and then whatever the next arc is going to be, there's gonna be probably a few awkward moments, and then because it's funny, Yamato knows the crew because he know who Frankie was. He's like, oh, you're Cyborg Frankie, so she obviously knows the crew, but they don't know her. So it's gonna be this awkward, funny, a funny period, and then that's gonna be cool, and then eventually she will like be part of the crew, like actually part of the crew. That's my theory. How this whole Yamato thing is gonna be handled. Well, man, Leo, I'm telling you now. I don't know what type of person I'm going to become if Yamato doesn't join the crew. I don't know because I love saying things like, for example, that I love saying things that like Hunter x Hunter is mid just because I love to see people's reaction to saying that. I'm like one of those people. So I don't know what type of person I'm going to become if Yamato doesn't join the crew. I don't know what things I'm going to say. So hopefully she joins the crew for that way. I don't say something crazy like I just. Also, I don't think that Hunter x Hunter is mid. That was just a thing. The
Yeah, you better not. Like, I'm
no
reading the
no
skull right now.
no. No. I just say that to mess with my brother. Like mid X mid. But but yeah. What about you? What do you think about this whole Yamato joining?
I mean, it would be cool for her to join. Like she has an interesting story arc, potential story arc, like with her coming to terms like with ways to be old and like is she's like or is she he they like is Yamato gonna really be Olden or is Yamato gonna accept that like she ain't Olden like
Mm-hmm.
she really is Yamato like
Yeah.
that's what I'm curious like how is I almost say Rocky how's Oda going to handle this.
Oh, Rocky! Wow, that's so random. Okay. Uh, I expected Togashi because I mentioned Hunter x Hunter, but yeah, yeah, I agree with you because like I said, like that her joining the crew will lead to that. Will lead to her actually having a character arc because throughout Wano she pretty much has none. Like she's just been saying, oh yeah, I'm Kosuke Oden, and she does joins the crew, then we'll probably finish that whole Kosuke Oden thing. So yeah. Also, if she joins, She's just gonna be another strong character in the crew, which I love that. I love seeing
Yeah.
the Straw Hats. Getting power ups. Like going up in the world. So and so yeah. There's that, and the whole Wano. the ancient Wano on the water thing. Um, I think I have nothing new to say about this because I think during the during your like reaction, we already talked enough about that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I said, no one was expecting this. Like I literally have seen no one talked about that. Oh, like there's a there's a Wano from 800 years ago underwater. Because obviously the rainwater is gonna fill the border, and like people would just go up the mountain. Someone during a live reaction to this chapter, someone said that, not a live reaction, it was a video, like a chapter discussion. I think it was Morge, Mr. Morge. Don't quote me at that. But someone said that this is basically mirroring Water 7. Like, Water 7 throughout the years, the water keep rising and they just keep building, up on top of the old Water 7. And Water 7, that's where we learn about well, what's Alabasta, but Water 7 was heavily focused on Pluton, because Frankie, all that, the Carpenters, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
here and Pluton is here in Wano. So like I do wonder they all thought about this whole Wano thing during Water 7, or when he was writing about Wano, did he want to make that connection because he's like, oh, we cool, you know like we cool if I make this connection about Water 7 and all that. Either way, it's a interesting callback, or like or it's an interesting mirror, about with that. Um, this doesn't explain why I guess it kind of does, but still doesn't explains why Wano it looks like a bunch of random islands put together.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
in this diagram right here, in this diagram of showing the history of how Wano was filled up throughout the years, with the rainwater, we see Mount Fuji, and in the third diagram, we see there's like these lines indicating that this land right here, which for Wano currently was like added, is like added land. So I guess you could still, because my theory and a bunch of people's theory, like the most popular theory, is that Wano was made by the Asian giant race, the continental pullers, and they just got a bunch of random islands and they made Wano. Uh, you can still this still doesn't disprove that theory, because Sukiyaki didn't explain how they made the current Wano. Where they got the landmass to make the current Wano. So
Yeah.
Oda still, I guess, could still explain that. Sukiyaki also doesn't explain Onigashima. Like Marco mentioned when he joined the arc, he mentioned, oh, they're calling it Onigashima now. Implying that it used to be called by a different name. He doesn't explain that. And it's really cool Lord Thumb. No one really was, like I've been saying, no one was expecting this. And it explains why Mount Fuji is so skinny. It's because Wano is on top of Mount Fuji. It's really, it's very well thought out. It's really cool. Like stuff like this, I love about One Piece. The world building and the Lord Thumbs like this. And plus,
Ye-
yeah, yeah, and plus, I don't know if you agree, Leo, but in my opinion, Robin, she looks the prettiest when she's learning things. when she's like learning new things, that's when she looks the prettiest, because that's when she had like facial expressions. She's like learning things. I don't know. To me, she always looks the prettiest when she's learning things. And we get to see her in the chapter, so that's a plus. Robin fans were eating, because and also this moment right here with Law, it's like a really cute, funny moment. Law use room, and she's like, no fair, and Law doesn't say anything. People, the people who ship Law and Robin, they're eating this chapter because they're having interaction. Not sure if you care about ships, but I say Frankie or Robin. Uh, you know, I see it, Frankie Robin. But now, Jinbei, he's been, I don't know, he's been Robin Jinbei. There's been something there, because
I thought you were insinuating
what?
Frankie Jinbei.
No, 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 no. no, no. And the reason why I say Junpei and Robin throughout Onigashima, Robin been like, "Oh, Junpei, you handsome man." She's been calling Junpei a handsome man throughout Onigashima. She hasn't said that about Frankie, not once. But but there's this scene in Onigashima where Frankie in the motorcycle and he tells Robin, go to the back seat, ride the motorcycle with me. And then Brooke thought that Frankie was talking to him, so he got into the seat. And Frankie was like, "I was talking to Robin. Robin, she was going to, like, she looked like she was going to, go with Frankie because again, like I say, although he likes to hint Frankie Robin, even in color spreads, there's like a few color spreads where Frankie Robin have been close. So, but Jinbei, man, Jinbei, ever since he joined the crew, it's crazy, you know. So yeah, there's that. What happened before this? Oh yeah, the Green Bull, Green Bull stuff. The beginning of the chapter with Green Bull. Raiso's not safe. Like I said, at the end of the chapter, there's a brief moment, like in the background, where we see Denjiro attending Raiso. Like I mentioned earlier, if it's like Crocodile, then just give him some water and he'll be safe. Um, so yeah. Um, I guess that's the video. I think that's everything. I don't know. I think I don't have anything else to say. What about you, Lil? Do you have anything else to say?
I don't think so.
Okay. So yeah, that's the video. To conclude, I guess to summarize everything. The Lord done with Wano was really cool. No one like I was saying, no one was expecting that, but it makes total sense if you think about it. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, me and my brother were talking about this, yesterday, like why Wano has fresh water. Oh, something that I did forgot to mention. Well, I briefly mentioned it, but to elaborate more, people now are theorizing that Delphi users, they could probably swim on fresh water because they sent Jack down there to scope, to look for the to look for the poneglyph. Um, I did mention that maybe this is Jack before he ate the devil fruit, so he could swim. I also did I also did mention that they just dropped Jack. He float down and then they put him back up, and he said that, oh, there's a cave down there, and if he probably gave them an estimate how to go down there, and they just went down there. Um, or like what people saying, maybe Delphi users could swim in fresh water, but we already know because Ola already confirmed a long time ago that any body of liquid um affects a Delphi user. It doesn't have to be salt water, it could be fresh water, it could be bath water, any liquid could affect a Delphi user as long as they're submerged enough. They cannot move. So that kind of disproved the theory that people are having out that fresh water doesn't affect Delphi users. So yeah,
Imagine taking a shower and just drowning.
yeah, that way. Crocodile, all of a sudden, that Crocodile, he, like, when he's taking a shower, that's when he's the most sharpest. Like his senses, because when he touches water, he becomes a solid. So Oda said when Crocodile is taking a shower, that's when he's like the most sharpest. His senses are the most sharpest because anyone could attack him at any moment. Yeah. Um, but yeah, you have to be submerged a certain amount for the water to take effect. So there's that, and then the Green Bull stuff. Um, the Ambro people, they're in the mud. They're in suicide wash. Better send them link to BetterHelp.com. Not sponsored, but send them links to BetterHelp.com. Like how the people say, therapy ain't cheap. BetterHelp will help you. BetterHelp will help you with a bunch of therapists. Psychiatrists. One-on-one conversations. You don't have to be there, just to text or on the phone, whatever. I don't know how the ads go, but it's basically they go like that. So yeah, try BetterHelp.com if you were Admiral over Yonko person, because you're in the middle right now. I know people who people are going to start. I know some people are going to backpedal. Someone already did. Those will do on Twitter. I saw a screenshot that he was saying. I think 9:53 when 9:53 came out. He was saying oh Green Bull Green Bull he's gonna be Zoro's opponent because he has a black blade. I don't know if you heard, but people are theorizing that Green Bull has a black blade because the sword that he has is seen black, but we're not sure, of course. But Zoro he's gonna be Green Bull's opponent. Green Bull over King, blah blah blah. Yeah. This chapter came out. The dude tweeted. The dude tweeted a healthy King over Green Bull. Like he's backpedaling already, and it was only been two
Whoa.
chapters. He's like going back on his words, what he was saying about Green Bull being stronger than the King and all that jazz. Um, I already mentioned in last week video. I mentioned the Randy Troy theory. That Green Bull was going to mop the floor with the Alliance, or Luffy was going to give himself in. Or gave my thoughts on that. Like I basically I strongly disagree with him. This chapter showed why I would strongly disagree with that theory. He's still coping. He said jokingly, he said, oh, it still could happen. You just know, just not in this arc. He just said he was coping, so that means he's joking, of course. No. Yeah. It's hard to tell if someone's joking or not. Sometimes it's hard to tell. But I think he was just coping. He was just joking about it. So yeah, that's there. Green Bull, the Yonko, and of course, basically we learned nothing new in this chapter. Yonko over Emeralds, always has been and always will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I always say, I'm not sure if you agree with this. Like I always say that you need all the Emeralds versus one Yonko. Not sure if you agree with that. Some people say you need two. Some people say you need one. Some people say you need three. I say you need all of them. So yeah. And this chapter kind of proved that Shanks, he's top one in the burst. There's no, there's no denying that at this point, And then at the end, it shows how far the Straw Hat crew, at least the Monster Trio plus Jinbei, has gone. That now in the face of Admiral, there's casually there washing their allies fight against this Admiral, and they're like, waiting to see if they should help out or not, because like
Yeah.
if you remember, like they were out fighting against Aokiji for the first time. Luffy like they're like Luffy said the no. Did Luffy tell them to run? I don't think so. If I'm correct, Luffy told Sora and Sanji not to fight. If I'm correct, and then against Kizaru, Luffy told everyone to run. That was the first time that Luffy told everyone to run. Like save yourself, like we meet back. Like 3 days later, let's meet up. And then now, against Fujitora, Luffy didn't run. Luffy's like, oh, I'm gonna take you on. That's why I trained for 2 years. And now Luffy, he's actually 100% confident of that. Him and his boys, Luffy and a few good men, they could take down, Admiral. So yeah. And also like I mentioned, Green Bull, he's still top 10, obviously, because he's the Admiral. But it just again his reaction to the Conquer Saki, it really makes him look bad, but he's still top 10. Like someone described Green Bull as I think it was Mr. Morge. He described Green Bull as a henchman that talks big, and then he gets shook. He gets shook by by a main character. Which he did give me that vibes, but I think Green Bull he is a cocky person.
Yeah.
Yeah, he from what we could tell, he's just cocky, and the only people he takes seriously are the Yonko. Like he doesn't take the commander seriously, which he did mop the floor with King and Queen. Well, again, we don't know how that went down. Maybe they have seen stone cuffs, like 50% see stone cuffs, or they're weakened because of the fight. We really don't know how that went down, but still he did mop the floor with them. So there's precedence for him thinking that the commanders are low tier characters, but of course we're not talking about any typical crew. We're talking about the Redhead Pirates and also the Straw Hat Alliance. So the Mink, I think it's like the Samurai, Mink, Ninja, Pirate Alliance. So yeah. So yeah, that's the I guess that's everything. Really good chapter. One Piece was crazy good this week. It's a shame that I didn't like react to it, but at least Leo did. Uh, um, um, next week, because TCB scans, they said now they're going to release the chapters later than usual because of the merger thing. Maybe it's probably going to come out late again next week Thursday. But I don't know. Let's see what happens. If it's gonna be a live reaction or it's gonna be a discussion like this one. This one was like half live reaction, half discussion. So yeah. So yeah. Any final thoughts, Leo?
uh, oh, Shanks #1.
Yeah, yeah. Of course. Shanks #1 and Green Bull #3. My #3 is Green Bull. So
Wow.
so yeah. That's the video. Leave a like if you like the dislike if you don't. I'll see you next time. That's the video. See you.
So no subscribe button?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. And subscribe, hit the bell, do all that jazz, all that YouTube jazz, So yeah. So yeah, that's the video. See you.